Next one, Azure Cosmos DB. This is a globally distributed multi-model database that again you get low latency, high availability and automatic scaling, but this one is no relational files, also like a known as no SQL. So this is part of the Azure SQL database was a relational database. This one is not the relational one. And similarly, like in Azure SQL database, we had a DTU and we had virtual cores, but in here we have RUs, or in full name request units, which is also important to know before starting. This is very Azure Cosmos DB specific terminology, and this is basically a throughput, and it represents the system resources, so CPU, memory, and input and output operations, like we had in the previous in Azure SQL database, which are required to perform database operations. Each operation, read, write, query, consumes a certain number of RUs or request units, depending on its complexity. For example, a simple point read might be kind of, let's say, 1 kilobyte of item, which would be a bit less than 1 RU. A complex query could be across multiple partitions, could be more than 100. Write operations between 5 and 10, and so on. Just a rough estimate. RUs or request units are provisioned per second, and you only pay for the RUs you provision. So that way you can, of course, scale database throughput independently of storage. What you can use it, for example, you can have a setup with multi-region writes, which will be a bit more expensive than if you would have single region writes. So you can distinguish between multi-region and single region writes. Single region are of course cheaper, multi more or less double than single region, because mostly you would have 2 regions. And there is also storage for the Cosmos DB setup. What you can be useful for, of course, global applications, again, user data such as profiles, preferences. No SQL databases are very often used in gaming, actually. I would need to think why, to be honest, but that's the fact, for score of achievements, but also for social features like friends messages. Lots of unstructured data, of course, IoT, whether it's device data such as telemetry statuses on analytics, real-time historical, managing also of these devices, for example, configurations or updates. Again, analytics, also here you can use it for data ingestion, think about stream processing, batch processing, data storage, time series, metrics, or data access queries or APIs. Of course, there are more performance features. It's first of all, it's globally distributed, so it has, if you want, multi-region setup, low latency, of course. Scalability is there. It's automatic and unlimited, and consistency. It has multiple levels, and you can tune it as well. Let me go to Portal Azure. It's taking a bit longer today. Let me try this time that way. And now I go to databases and I get build new application Azure Cosmos DB. Yes, you can see it under build new applications. Okay. So I will create one. And here I have the options, so I can for NoSQL or MongoDB. MongoDB is a type of a database. Yeah, you can read about this. It's very popular database. It's also NoSQL, so no relational one. Very popular. I use it for some kind of project in the past, but I don't use it anymore. But here I use this. Yeah, the more closer to the Azure environment. Workload, I will take the cheapest one. Best for beginners, I got low cost. That's what I carry the most during recordings. I select resource group, account name, detect ref. Availability zones you can enable if you want. This will be loading. If it takes more than 10 seconds, I'm not going to wait. Yeah, you can try by yourself. Provision throughput, I can also make it serverless. Yeah, but I will keep it here so you can see it. Yeah, because we talk about the serverless. Yeah, this can be tricky because if you get lots of spike, the database will still work, but you will get a lot of billing. Depends if you know more or less how much traffic, writes or read operations you will have, go with this one. If you don't know, go with serverless, but be careful about it's more difficult with serverless to estimate the cost. Apply free tier, of course, limited throughput that can print. Okay, so I go to next global distribution. I leave it disabled because it will cost me more. Geo redundancy, you can also read what it means. It's enabling global distribution. Networking, I leave by default. Backup policy, so you can see there are also backup policies. You can also select, I just leave the cheapest one. Key-based authentication, okay, so this is again security tags, and I can see if I created the right one. Azure is very slow at the moment where I am located. I think it got let's try go one more time quickly. This we talked about. Yeah, so now I just also enable this checkbox, by the way. So then geo redundancy is disabled. Go. This is something wrong with Azure today. I need to try. Or tonight, actually. Again. Now we got after third try. So sometimes if something is stuck, just try to open a new tab. Yeah, because Azure is very big platform, so many things can go wrong. So just in the, like with many applications, the simplest solution just to refresh Azure, or open it in a new tab, new window, maybe change the resource name. Many things you as a engineer you need to figure it out. If you're not an engineer, then it will take you some time to some more time to figure out. Okay, and we are there. Okay, so here you can see everything URI. But if you access this, you can see that it doesn't work that quickly. If you want to access via browser, here we are having subscription ABD, throughput. If I click here, then cost management will open. And then here I can include, for example, whatever you want. So here you can see that with the 1000, which is the default one, it's about $58 per month. I think it's a lot of money, but let's see if I do to change 50. I can also say any amount, but I will just make very little because I'm just recording for learning. Then it dropped to $3. You can play with this. Yeah, you can just play with this to see how many how much it would cost X amount of request units. Basically, I personally finding that Cosmos DB is quite expensive option for NoSQL databases. Though MongoDB is also not that much cheaper, so I personally prefer Firebase or Upright, but those are small applications, not for enterprise. Smaller databases, I mean. Yeah, so here you can also, for example, enable geo redundancy, right? This is what it was disabled. You can see that it provides this amount of availability when disaster strikes. But I'm not going to do it. What more do we have? We can have so many options. We can create database, which we soon will do, and many others. To be honest, you can just scroll through. Here you can also go through. Those are everywhere the same. But what I will want to go through is actually Data Explorer, which I can also go here. Okay, so we got welcome, and now we can create, for example, new container. We can get a quick start, and this is what we'll do. If it will pre-fill for us, create a database container, partition key ru. You can see that when we limited it there, then it's also affixed here, and then we can see the monthly cost as average also here. There was $3, but here we got a different estimate. Do pay attention. Okay, and then we can start. Yeah, so before that I see I have to go to cost management and I need to change it. I will change it because the 1000 is minimum. So yeah, you have no choice but to pay at least $58 per month. Let's see what kind of calculation we'll have at Data Explorer. Okay, go back to Data Explorer, quick start, okay, throughput, okay, now I think it still didn't update. Let me go back to cost management. Oh, it should be fine. It's still complaining, so let me try to edit it different way. Oh, maybe like this. Okay, let's see if it's updated. Okay, let's try again. Yes, we are there. Okay. So sample database, container ID, partition key is created for us. This is there. So now you can see what's the range. We had for 1000 we had 56, for 1100 we had 64, so you can see the range is a bit different. Okay, this will skip, and quick, let's hit OK. Oops, I click accidentally something. Let's see if we are there. Yeah, so these are sample data which we created with the help of quick start. So we can you can walk through this, you can upload them, you can run a query, scale, create notebook. Yeah, so this is Connect is something which we would you can open it like this, for example, which you would need for or if you're if you are not developer, then you're developers, when making integration from the code. But we are only walking through. Yeah, so here you can see this no SQL database. There is ID, by meaning that there are no tables, rows and columns, but there are objects. So this is an object, and this is key value, key value, key value, key value, etc. Right? So this is what I mean by no relational database. Yeah, if you want, you can now maybe we can try execute a query. So I open query. No, one moment. Yes, sorry. And now, so here you can run a query, and then you can execute the query. Oh. And now you will see that we are getting the data from our database. Right? You can, for example, order by let's say C. C stands for container, C, and let's say price, descending. Yes, so here we get something which is the most expensive, then a bit less, and it will be descending by on the price part, right? But what else you can do? You can do it descending bar or ascending by name. Execute query. Oh, and then we start with A. Somewhere there is C. Name F, and then H, and so on and so on. And then we are with what, that L, which is the last one here. So you can also play with this here. For fundamentals you don't need it, but I wanted to show you can also save a query. Yeah, so you can see that they save query in our account, and then we get will be a little bit charge extra. I'm not going to set it up right now. I think I need to create a database, but I'm not going to do it now. I just waste. Sometimes I waste create too much for the videos, but I want to actually try one more. Let's see if this is working actually. If I will create it. To be honest, I don't know. I will see. And now I will save query. Yeah, it already exists, and when it was not there, it didn't work. Anyways, you can also save queries, but you need to solve the problem. Okay, we have seen cost management, data export, the most important. The other ones here are standard. Those will be standard and also a bit advanced. You can see the containers also here. They should pop up. Yes, now you can see, so you can see the database, the throughput and storage in the settings. You can access this like we have seen. Some integrations I skip, and some of the parts here you can go through, logs if it would be logged. But you have seen, for example, in Azure SQL database we had to provide username and password. Here we did not, so you can reflect on that in terms of security. In identity you also don't need. This is all those we don't need. Encryption you also don't need, but you know it's of course encrypted. You can see networking, it's fine. You can disable, you can play with this. Backup, you can also make some changes here. Features, so you can you have summary of all the features here. And now all the most important, or the most exciting, this is super cool, because just from the map you can decide where you want to have your setup for multi-region. And then you can also see you can select the read regions. Very cool feature. This is very cool. And one more super cool, which I mentioned in this part when I was talking about or actually briefly mentioned consistency. There are multiple levels of consistency. So here you can get a tutorial kind of how the writing latency, availability and read throughput compares to other ones. So for example, for session, for consistent prefix, it will play very nicely. And then you have all these explanations. It's much beyond this course, but I really wanted to show you this feature. It's super cool. Those two actually. Yeah. And also the next ones. And the last one, strong. And you can see that it is the most predictable and and intuitive programming model. And this will open also documentation, where you can read more about the strong consistencies, and then bound and stainless consistency, and session consistency, consistent prefix consistency, and the last one should be also there. Yeah. So now what I will do, my very good practice, I delete this so I don't forget, because you have seen I can be charged a lot of money. Oh, one moment. And in the overview you also have very nice metrics automatically set for you, right? You can, yeah, very beautiful. I really like them. So recommendations, monitoring we have seen, containers data. Also you can access from here, and even you can query get to the query straight away. Learning sources, setup optimization. It's a very nicely created environment for Azure Cosmos DB. Just is a bit expensive. So while deleting this, I will go and say my conclusion for this class. Azure Cosmos DB, globally distributed NoSQL database with low latency, multi-model support, document key value pairs. It can also be graph, it can be also column family, but mostly is NoSQL with key value pairs. under document, or we also call it object. Automatic scaling with provision throughput. We have seen request units, reuse, 5 consistency levels, at least as of today, for different application needs. It's very advanced, and built-in distribution with multi-region write, and this beautiful map where you could select where do you want to have the multi-region, and for multi-region 99.999% availability SLA for multi-region deployments. This is also what we have seen when I could enable geo redundancy. Yes, when I could enable this. Okay, so this will delete. I will wait for this after this video, but for now I want to welcome you on the next one. I want to actually tell you that there will be next recording about Azure database for PostgreSQL, and I will be waiting for you there.